Okay, I have a 2006 F350 with a 6.0 liter. Just going to be going over these fuel filter changes, and the one that is very easy to change is right up here. You can take your 1/2-inch drive and loosen this off, and all you do is you'll pop the new one up into the cap. Like I said, very simple. Just pop it in there and then you screw it back down. It's got a O-ring that goes on that. So nothing to that one. Now the one that's a little bit more difficult is down on the frame, and it's a bigger filter, and it looks like this, and that's the one that I'm mainly going to be going over. This one up here is really simple, so we're just going to get started here. Okay, so we're back here on the driver's side, just behind the front wheel, and we come back here. We can see our transmission pan right there, where you would drain your transmission fluid, and we look right back here on this frame, and right here is our first fuel filter, and we've got a cap on it. I believe it's similar to the one for the oil fill cap, but I'll find out in just a second. But we got to get that loose. I haven't relieved pressure, so I'm going to be putting a rag up here, and I've also got a drain pan here to catch the fuel. So first thing I said, we're going to go ahead and just start getting this cap off here. And you know, we got some lines here in the way, but it shouldn't be too difficult. The main thing is we just don't want to, you know, get dirt and stuff on our new filter, and it's got like a water, you know, separating membrane on it too. So we'll go ahead and get this loose here and drain this this fluid out. Okay, and so that's a 36 millimeter, and I'm using just a little ratchet, and it is the same one that goes on the oil filter cap up there. So I'm going to break this loose, but I'm actually going to get out from under here and do this. I'm going to put a little extension on here, and I'm going to get my pan that I've got right here into position, because I don't want to be under here. So I'm going to get that loose, let it drain for a minute, and we'll go ahead and get this filter out. Okay, so there's our cap off, and like I said, I just got my pan here to catch all this, and we're just getting ready to pull this out of here now. And I can already see, you know, how dirty this thing is before even getting it out. And I mean, so a lot of times these get neglected back here, and I mean, even that housing up there is just full of grime. Gonna have to clean that out a little bit with some brake cleaner and wipe it out. So I mean, there it is. So it's definitely due for a clean, and I think I'm also going to clean my filters in my tank when I get a chance as well. But I'm going to get this done, and I'm going to check my fuel pressure out. So I'm going to go ahead and get this cleaned out a little bit, and we'll see about getting this new filter in here. Okay, here we are after we've cleaned on this for a little bit, and I've used brake cleaner and I've wiped it out. One thing I would say, wish I'd done before starting this, I would take it to the car wash and clean this area with the pressure washer before starting this, because I'm going to have to be very careful when putting this filter in so I don't accidentally bump any of this gunk that's surrounding this. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and get our new filter now. Okay, and here's our new filter, and I think I'm just going to try to leave it in this plastic till I get it up in there. Put a little dab of oil around that seal. It's got to go up in that right there that you see down in there. So this big end with the O-ring, that end faces out for the cap. Put you just a little bit of oil around that so it'll go in there. So I'm just getting ready to slide it in here. So I'm just going to leave it in this plastic till I get it up in there. Okay, so you'll know it when you get it in there. You'll hear it click and lock into place. So now we're going to go ahead and get our cap on. We'll make sure to clean that cap up real good too. Okay, so we got our cap cleaned up. Our filter did come with a new O-ring for this. And I'm going to show you this old one here. And see, I mean, it might hold up for a while, but once it starts going, you know, then you're going to have problems. But this gets torqued to like 18 foot-pounds if you want to fuss with torque. So we're going to go ahead and get this cap on here now that we got it cleaned up and everything. So we'll just get back under there. Okay, so I think I'd mentioned it, but I put a light bit of oil on that O-ring seal, so this will go back in a lot smoother and seal good. So we're going to go ahead and get our 36 millimeter, and we'll start tightening this on down. And when doing these, I would recommend, I mean, you can see where somebody changed this before. If they had the socket, which they're not that expensive, you know, you wouldn't mess your cap up. So in the case, you know, if you get the 36 millimeter, you can change your oil and you can change this, and you don't run the risk of messing your cap up, and it makes things a lot easier. I have seen those caps be really tight in some cases where I had to use a cheater bar. So okay, and now we're just making sure we've got this torque to 18 foot-pounds, you know, and obviously make sure that it's fully seated around there regardless of what your, you know, torque wrench says. So we should be all finished up here. Like I said, this filter gets neglected, you know, so I would say, you know, clean this area here with a pressure washer before you start on this project real good, you know, and make sure you change the one up top. I have already changed that one. Like I said, it's very simple. 1/2 inch drive, you just remove that, pop the new filter in. It's nothing more difficult than your oil filter there. So like I said, hopefully this has been helpful, and I thank y'all for watching. Okay, one more thing before I go. We're going to come in here to purge this air, and we're going to cycle this key on and off several times. I'm going to do this like 4 or 5 times just to make sure that I get all the air purged out of the line, because it's going to have air after changing that filter back there. And like I said, thanks again for watching.